Welcome back, channel. Welcome back to another video, everybody, where today we're going to talk about the Demon 170 and all the ridiculous prices people are asking for them, and some predictions I have about the Demon 170 that might shock you a little bit, but I've been right so far. I've been right all along. Everything I've said this last few years has been dead on, spot on, and nobody can argue those points now. Now, everybody on YouTube's saying what I've been saying now for the last couple of years, which I'm flattered, but not a single person saying, you know, Steve Motivator is saying all this crap a year and a half ago, and now everybody's shocked that the car market's crashing, and these things are all coming down in price, and people who paid markups are buried in their cars, giving their cars back. With most search terms on Google right now are like, give back my car or something. It's ridiculous. So I think there's some interesting things that are going to take place with the Demon 170 that we're going to talk about today. But first, let me show you some cars down here at South OC Cars and Coffee, because it's Mopar Day, I think. I mean, everybody's showing up with their Hellcats and their Scat Packs, and this is better than it's been in a while. So I'll show you a couple of these before we jump into the content. Right here we have a gorgeous Hellcat. Is it a red eye? Nope, this is a regular Hellcat, which I love more than the red eye, because you get the same amount of fun for less money, which is much better. This thing's gorgeous, man. You can kill yourself just as easily in this as you can
I lost control the other day just by playing around with it. I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, we were on the freeway once. My buddy stomped on. He was driving, stomped on it at 55 miles an hour, and the butt went out from underneath us, and we both crapped our pants. It was ridiculous.
I went from an RT to a Scat Pack and then into this.
Yeah, that's big dog, big daddy stuff right there. I love the wheels though. That thing's nice, and the color.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I got it before everyone went crazy.
Yeah, you didn't pay a markup?
No.
You did good job.
I went
man.
all the way to Indiana.
Good job.
In 22, yeah.
Did you drive it all the way back or ship it?
No, I had a ship.
Yeah.
I ordered in Chicago. I had ordered a Charger, Alaska.
Yeah.
A 23. It was ready to come. It got delivered. I even signed I put a deposit. Yeah. And they promised me a certain price, but then when it came in, they upped it. But the good thing is they gave me they would rather just give me my deposit back. Yeah.
And all you're getting is the badge. And I'll sell you my badge right now. 10 grand. No problem.
I know.
It means nothing. So you got a great car here, dude.
Thanks, man.
Very nice. What's up, brother?
What's up?
How's it going?
Doing good.
You got real fast right here. Check this thing out.
It says 800 on the dash now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
I tuned it, got lower pulley, did it all. Everything.
Light it up. I want to see that.
Yeah. Before I got it tuned, it was 707.
Yep.
And then now, when I go here, and then I go here, and I'll go here. 800.
You got 800 in here.
Yeah.
So is this thing ridiculous or what?
Yeah, it's so healthy. I don't plan on going any more, but it's healthy. Like the response,
And this is not a red eye.
No, this is a regular Hellcat.
All right, so what did it cost for you to take it to 800? More than a red eye.
It costed me $2,500.
$2,500. You got a red eye.
Yeah, but I did all the work.
Yeah.
So $2,500 for just parts, but compared to that would be like $4,500.
And what'd you do to make it 800?
I did the Ripatoon lower pulley. I did the Rip Stop, a Rip Supercharger coil, high performance coil pack, and then I did the lower pulley tune from Ripatoon.
Nice. What about the flex capacitor? Where's that at?
That it's in the back. My wife made me take it out because she said it just made it too fast.
Right.
Yeah,
Stop. Tired of going back to 1980.
Yeah, exactly. I started coming back with all these vintage clothes.
I'm
just kidding.
Well, freaking right on, dude.
Yeah, heck yeah. Thanks.
Dude, that's
thanks
crazy.
To you.
Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful.
So there's a lot of things I would have done different. This was like $900, but if I would have put like $200 more, I would have been able to get an enclosed carbon fiber, which is way more better performance. Yeah. So I've been considering just going back to the stock, but it just looks nice.
It sounds better, right?
It sounds good. Yeah.
Louder.
Yeah. But I'm not trying to be so loud. I mean, I like to have it all right there.
Yeah.
So I'm not so like sticking out.
I just love that.
I
sound.
can never get used to it. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, thanks.
That looks good, dude.
Thank you.
Well, you built you built something more horsepower than a red eye.
Dang, I know.
That's freaking great.
Yeah, I don't chase. I don't go for races. But if somebody does like a friendly lineup, I'll definitely do it.
No, I thought I saw you in the news in LA doing a street takeover.
Yeah, right.
Intersection.
No.
You close the whole thing down with it.
No way. I got kids. I got too many things.
Good.
Yeah, no way.
Good. Don't do that.
I don't want my kids to see me out there.
No, I know, right? Hey. You got it. I hear you revving that supercharger, dude.
How you doing?
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Woo, look at that beautiful car. You loving it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, you made it 2 weeks without dying, so that's good. So check out this plum crazy shaker next to, this is grapes. We got grapes right here, dude.
Yeah.
We got green grapes, we got purple grapes. That's awesome. So how much you pay for that?
I paid MSRP. So originally the dealership wanted to charge $10,000 markup. I ordered it back in November of last year. And sure enough, I watched your video. My parents at the same time were like, don't do something stupid. So last minute I told the dealership, I told them to cancel my order. And then they were like, okay, well, we'll just wait until it's made. Sure enough, it came in May, give or take. And they were like, okay, well, do you still want it? I'm like, no, MSRP or nothing. And then sure enough, they jumped on it because no one else was moving the Hellcats or Scat Packs.
Good job, dude.
Jumped on it.
Good job, beautiful car.
Over a 24-year-old, I was like, no thanks.
And it's like when you get, you know, a cheap free lunch or something, you're like, damn, it tastes so much better. It's when you don't pay a markup. Doesn't it feel so much better?
Exactly. I don't feel like I'm stuck under the car now.
Exactly. You're not. You're in
Yep.
good shape. That's gorgeous, man.
1 hour later.
All right, what a great day at South OC Cars and Coffee. Got to meet a bunch of fans. And if you're watching this video and I met you today, got to see you today, awesome getting to see you. Awesome getting to see your amazing cars. And it's really cool to see the creativity that people have with their cars. Also, that my channel has helped people save money. Helped this young kid, this young guy, 24 years old, that bought a gorgeous Scat Pack wide body, plum crazy, and saved himself. Look at this. Oh shoot, that's my neighbor. Look at that guy. Shoosh. Where was I? Squirrel.
I may talk. Squirrel.
A squirrel went by, so I lost the picture. Anyways, got to see his plum crazy Scat Pack, and he saved $10,000. And my videos helped, which is why I do this. And yes, my channel's been doing great, and thank you all for your support. But seeing that there's actual real savings, real change, real positive things that have happened for other lovers of this amazing car brand, it just warms my heart. It makes me want to keep on shooting videos. But today we're going to talk about the Demon 170. And yes, I've told you all, I have one on order, and it's pretty close to coming. So, I mean, we're talking weeks, not months. So, obviously, with the amount of cars I've got in my driveway, and the fact that I just bought this thing, I legitimately have painted myself into a corner.
It takes 12 hours to dry. How about a beer and a pillow?
Meaning, I painted myself up into a spot that I need to find a way to get out. So that means I have too many cars. I have way too many cars. I have a parking problem and potential too much money out there in cars. I don't know. It feels that way. It definitely seems that way. Or how about this? I think that's why I'm confused, because it's not too much out there now. It's too much that's gonna have to go out there. So I've got $110,000 Demon coming, so I've got to send that 100 grand out. I've got my wife's Land Rover that the lease is up in like 5 months, 5.5 months. So got to get her a car, and not getting her a car would be a really stupid thing to do. So I've got to figure that one out. And I've got a little bit of work to do on the Lambo, and I've got some decisions to make. So what in my driveway is going to go away? And I did a video where I'm selling everything, because I feel like everything should just go. The Demon should come, and wife will get her car, daughter's got her car, and I start fresh and do a ton of content on the Demon. So I think that's where my head's at. I still don't think I'm going to sell the Swinger. I think I love this car too much. I love the manual too much. I've become so one with this car that I would hate to see it go. So I'm gonna have to figure that out with the Demon. So comment below. I mean, it's probably, I hate to say this, but it's probably the Lamborghini. Probably the Lamborghini is gonna go. Probably the Lamborghini is what needs to go, because I owe almost like nothing on that thing, and it makes this a very inexpensive event if I do that, and at least very inexpensive event above and beyond what I'm currently doing. Could I keep everything? I could. And somebody at Cars and Coffee today said, well, can't you do that? I can. I don't know where I'm putting everything, and we are making room in the garage for the Demon, but it would be really easy if it took the Lambo spot. So I know what you're going to say below, and feel free, because it helps my algorithm. Just put it in below, sell the Lambo. None of you want to watch that thing anyways. Let's talk about the Demons. Sorry, I get all caught up talking about this stuff, and some of you like to say, you talk too much in the comments. Well, don't watch it then. It's okay. You don't have to. Or hit the fast forward button. It's like, it's that simple. That's all it took. Fast forward. All right, so, and I need the watch time. We all need the watch time. So let's talk about the Demon 170. So what do I think is going to happen here? Having one come myself, I'm probably talking my own car down, but I don't want this to come off that I'm talking it down. I think I'm actually just talking reality. I like to live in reality. What is, and I don't want it to be any more than what it is or any less than what it is. And what we're seeing today in this Demon market is something very different than what happened in 2018. But let's talk about what happened in the pandemic with supply issues. There was a really short supply on cars, so all cars got marked up. Everything got marked up. Didn't matter what it was. Toyota Camrys were getting marked up. I mean, you name it, everything was getting marked up. So that wasn't because the cars were so special. It was because there weren't any cars. So for that reason, markups became a thing, and it became a almost normal thing across the entire car industry and for all of us as consumers. That made this whole markup thing kind of, I don't know, irritating after a while. And we got fatigued by it, and we decided that, well, you know, we kind of hate this. We're kind of tired of this. We're over the whole markup dance, and now we're downright pissed off, and we don't want to pay it. And we're now putting our foot down, and we're choosing not to buy anything. And some of you are just downright like swearing off of Dodge completely. You're not going to buy a Dodge ever again, despite everyone out there doing markups on stuff from Chevy to you know, obviously the Corvettes, the Camaros, Ford with the Mustangs. I mean, there were plenty of markups. GT500s were marked through the moon. I mean, so it's not just exclusive to Dodge. So I don't want to just beat up on them. It just happens that my channel is about Dodge, so we've experienced it with Dodges. Now, I believe with the Dodge cars, with the Hemi cars, the markups have been so prolific and so outrageous in some cases that it made some of the other brands' markups not look as bad, unless it was like a Corvette Z06 or something like that. But they've definitely been high. And we've all gotten to the place of just fatigue with them. Now we're in the stage of resentment for them. And because of that, anything that's marked up, we are mad and people are upset. Look at all the videos out there. They're everywhere. People are just, they've had it with markups. They're just not going to buy. They're not even going to buy if they get it for MSRP now, because they're just so mad. And that's kind of, I think, where we're all at this point. And the dinglings that like to overpay for stuff, or maybe they're geniuses because they're so wealthy that they can afford these huge markups. They've already bought at the beginning of the year, and now they're scratching their head going, oh, why the hell did I spend 50 over on a regular Hellcat? Why did I do that? And a narrow body Hellcat, why did I spend 50,000 over? And now I can get them for under MSRP. Like, holy crap, that was a bad move. And they've got to own those decisions, or they've got to say, look, I'm happy, I have the money, I can do what I want with my money. You can. But nonetheless, we're all looking back. If we didn't buy, we're going, whew, thank goodness we didn't drop that money, because we'd be buried in the cars. Because what's happening right now is people are giving them back. They can't afford them, or they can't get out of them. So that's a problem. So for that reason, we're very resentful, and we can't get out of, let's say a lot of people can't get out of their existing cars. Well, now let's talk about 2018. What happened in 2018? Well, 2018, there weren't markups on any of these Hemi cars. I think I bought my first one in, I think it was 2018, might have been 17, with my RT, and then I bought a Scat Pack, and you know the story if you've been watching the channel a while. I've bought 80 of these things, and I've never paid a single markup. But back then, 2017, 18, 19, right up until 20, there were no markups. There were power dollars. There were massive discounts on the cars. I believe as the Demon was getting released, they either were still offering power dollars or were, as of recent, offering power dollars on all the other cars. So if you bought a 707 horsepower Hellcat, you got $7,007 off on that car. And a 797 Red Eye, you get $7,900 off on your Red Eye. And your Scat Pack, you got $4,800 off on your Scat Pack. Now then the Demon comes out, and the Demon, actually power dollars I think came after the Demon. So shortly after the Demon. So Demon comes out in 2018, and those get marked up. They're numbered cars. There's only going to be 3,000 of them. There's going to be, a big, massive line to get these cars. They're getting randomly allocated to all kinds of dealerships, big and small. People are getting them. And the markups were anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. And I'm sure that certain early VIN numbers or select VIN numbers maybe went for more. But for the most part, if you look back in 2018, the cars were going for $50,000 to $100,000 more, somewhere in that range. But for the most part, it was 50 to 75, what I saw most of the time. There goes that McLaren again. It's a great color. Squirrel.
Are you permitted to? Squirrel!
Anyways, so they weren't paying stupidly over, but none of us were screaming about that because it was logical. I'm not going to say it was reasonable, but it was logical because it was a very special car, a very unique car, a very low production car, but it wasn't even the last year of the Hemi cars, and those things were going for $50,000 to $75,000, maybe even $100,000 over. But for the most part, I found them back then for 50 over. The one by my house was 50 over, and I remember thinking, wow, that's a lot of money over on a Dodge. Well, today, with inflation and everything else, you figure maybe 50 over is equivalent to, I don't know, 70 over or something. But now today, oh, by the way, in 2018, a massive amount, I'm not going to say it's a majority, but a massive amount, possibly most of the buyers who bought the Demon in 2018 were speculators. Not many made them out to the regular road or made them out to the drag strip, but a lot of them, very many of them, were bought by speculators. In many cases, there were dealerships who bought them themselves, and there's one in SoCal here that's been hoarding them since then with still no miles, plastic still on the seats and everything. So they were bought by speculators. Remember, speculators are people who think, I'm going to buy this thing now for this price, and then I'm going to wait until it appreciates in value, and then scoop my big, huge profit and look like a genius. Well, those speculators, that's why you see so many of them out there with so few miles for sale right now. Go to CarGurus and do a search if you don't believe me. So many out there with so few miles. I mean, you're talking about a car 6 years old, maybe going on 7 years old, depending on when you got your car, that has 500 miles, 600 miles, 10,000 miles, 15,000 miles. In 6 years, that's the only amount of miles that went on those cars, meaning they weren't driven, meaning they were bought by speculators. And speculators are waiting to be able to sell them, which is why so many are for sale right now. And yes, you'll see a bunch of them at $200,000, but here's the funny question that I'll finally ask you all. Why would you buy a 2018 Demon for $200,000 if you can find a 2023 Demon for $200,000? It just doesn't make sense, which means for sure all those cars that are $200,000 in 2018 that are for sale today are simply overpriced. Now, somebody's going to say, but I'd rather have it. Whatever. You're not the normal person. Most people wouldn't do that. It just doesn't make sense, which means the ones that are priced properly from 2018 to today are $150,000, $160,000. That's it. In some cases, with a lot of miles, even less than that. So that's where the prices have settled. But now let's fast forward to today. Today, with the 2023 Demon 170, and in this last 3 weeks, so many have been getting delivered to dealers, which shockingly are going for sale at these dealers. But I thought these cars were ordered by consumers at MSRP. They signed a notarized document saying that they got it at MSRP so that that car would get built earlier than all the other cars. Yet now that car shows up and it's for sale by the dealer. What happened to the buyer? What happened to the buyer? Well, I think we know what happened to the buyer. It was not a real buyer. And if it was a real buyer, they just hosed that real buyer and told that real buyer, oh, by the way, I know we sold it to you at MSRP and you said you were going to buy it, you were going to come, it was going to be great. You know, I know we said that. I know you've been fantasizing about it since when you ordered it in April. But I'm sorry, now we want 100,000 over, and if you don't like it, tough luck. You don't get the car. And buyers are walking away upset. Go watch those videos. Go watch Butter the Insider's videos where he's talking about what happened to him. This is happening plenty out there. So either they ordered them for fake straw buyers who signed notarized documents or saying that they were buying that car, and then they just say, oh, they backed out, but the car showed up, and now they're selling them for $250,000, or after having an addendum that said it was sold at MSRP, or they just hosed the actual buyer that ordered the car. Either way, that's crappy. And look, I'm not here to, light a fire on Dodge or anybody, but this is a fact that's taking place today. And here's why. Because let's go ahead and define what's taking place today. Before, in 2018, we had speculators. Sure, there were some flippers, but they were speculators. Vast majority of them evidenced by the amount of them that are for sale right now and continually come for sale. Today, it's flippers. And flippers are people who bought the car for MSRP or a price, let's say $150,000, and are now trying to sell it for $250,000. And I'm going to go ahead and lump in dealers who faked a buyer. Let's say allegedly they did this. They faked a buyer name and the car shows up. I'm gonna lump them in with flippers because they ordered the car and had that buyer say they're going to get it for MSRP. Car shows up, dealer keeps it, and then flips it now, despite having told Dodge it was bought at MSRP, flips it now onto the open market for $400,000 or $250,000 or $200,000, whatever. They're all over the place right now. And more are coming. So those are flippers. And then there's a few, I know one for sure, a green one, that's up for sale that appears to be a real live secondary market flipper. He's selling the car with like 20 miles or 30 miles or something on it, and he's just flipping it, meaning he got one for MSRP, and maybe he found a dealer that would do it, and he got his, and the dealer fulfilled the order, and 2 minutes later, he's got that sucker on sale. I mean, with no miles on it for, over $200,000. I think it might be 230 grand or something like that. So he's got it up for over 200 grand, trying to scoop $100,000 profit, let's say, or close to it. So that's a flipper. Now, flippers can be forced into being speculators if they decide, screw it, I'm going to take it off the market and I'm going to sit on it. But right now what we're seeing is the cars are coming right back on the market, which we didn't see happen in 2018. People bought the cars, and it seems like they sat on the cars. And then they started trickling onto the market. Dealers were pretty much forthright, got the car, put a huge markup on it, sold it. So rather than lying to Dodge to get the car, to get the allocation to their dealership under someone's name and then turn around and yank it from them or put a fake name. So that means we're dealing with a flipper market. Well, I'll tell you, the challenge with a flipper market versus a speculator market is it's all happening at the same time. And what is happening at the same time is all these cars are going on the market almost simultaneously or within weeks and weeks of each other. And what you're looking at right now on Facebook Marketplace, on eBay, on CarGurus, go on Google and just type in Demon 170 for sale, and it's like every day another one gets delivered. It pops up at a dealership for $250,000, $200,000 is some crazy price. So what we're seeing is the true buyers that got them for MSRP trying to flip them to scoop. Think about it. In this economy, why would somebody sit on it if they can get it for MSRP today and they're going to flip it and scoop a quick hundy? They're going to make a quick $100,000 on this car in a few weeks. They're going to feel like geniuses right before Christmas time. Man, what a Thanksgiving they're going to have if they could do that now versus sit and speculate on it. Next, with interest rates, if they bought the car and used a loan and got 9 or 10%, even at $100,000, are paying close to $2,000 or $3,000 a month for that car. So every month that they make a payment, it takes away from the future profit, meaning they're going to need to sell that car, or their payment's going to, which is mostly interest, is going to eliminate and erode at their profit margin on their flip. This is important because this is why I believe we're going to see these prices, even on the Demon 170, come back down and rapidly find their way on the secondary market in the 150 to 175 range. I think that's where they're going to land. I don't think it's going to be less than that, because I think at around 150, people start to go, that's a fair deal. It's probably what it's going to be worth 2 or 3 years from now, based on what we saw with the 2018 Demon. They might even have a little bit of appreciation in a few years, but maybe around 160, 170. But to reach 200 is just going to be tough, because then you start stepping into exotic car territory. You start looking at prices that are coming down rapidly on Lamborghini Aventadors, extremely limited edition ones, Huracans, McLaren 720Ss, 650Ss. You're seeing these prices on these rare, ridiculously 458 Ferraris, 488 Ferraris, starting to come down and tap into that 200,000, get close to that $200,000 price range, which makes people think, why would I pay $200,000 for this thing if that's going to be all the money on it, probably for the next 40 years? I don't plan to race it, so why would I pay $200,000 for it just to say that I have it, when I could buy this Ferrari 488, which, you know, it's a very rare exotic car, probably will definitely hold its value a lot longer, or at least be very stable. And the Dodge likely isn't going to sit at 200 for very long. And the one thing about Ferraris, a lot of these Lamborghinis, when the market goes up, those things go to the moon, which they did this last few years, where Dodges were artificially pumped up in value as new cars by car dealers, but not much on the secondary market did we all get to cash in. We were lucky to get out for what we paid, or somewhere near that. So for those reasons, folks, I think these Demon 170s are probably going to land around that maybe 160, 175 range. Yes, some people will pay 200. There's always going to be those people out there. There's going to be some clowns that are going to pay 225, 250, and you know, we're going to see it happen, because the FOMO is happening all over again. But I'll tell you, it's not as crazy as it was, and a lot of lessons have been learned, and a lot of the powder that these people had has now been spent to where they have no firepower anymore to go and buy another car with another humongous markup, if they already bought a Hellcat or a Red Eye beginning of this year with a $40,000 or $50,000 markup. So I think the buyer pool's a lot smaller right now in this economy and this universe we're living in, with, you know, a massively polarizing election coming next year. We're on the brink of World War III. We still have ridiculously high interest rates. We still have too high gas prices in the higher end markets like California, where a lot of these people with the money would pay the $250,000 for these cars before. They're not going to do it now. In 2018, we didn't have the same level of fear, uncertainty, and doubt about the economy like we have today. So for that reason, folks, I think that's where the prices are going to be on the Demon 170. We will see if I'm right. Obviously, you know, it's okay if I'm wrong. I'll eat my words on here, but stay tuned and watch what happens with these things. You'll see some sell, but you're going to see a lot sitting for quite a while. So if you have your heart set on a Demon 170, you absolutely want one, plan to be able to rope a dealership in to take in that 150, 160 range for one of those cars, probably in the next month or two, and just be strong, stay strong, hold firm, don't overpay, don't be stupid, be smart, and keep up the good fight. So with that, everybody, please like, subscribe, comment, share this video to anyone out there you think would benefit from it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.